Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, this is going to be kind of a part two of drones over Tigray. So, I wanted to take a look at the kinds of drones that could be operating in the region. And, the first reports that we've heard about is that the United Arab Emirates could be operating the Wingloon Chinese made drone. So this is a very long distance drone. It can go for hundreds of miles, possibly up to 1,000 miles or more. It has a satellite data link, which gives it that capacity for incredible distance. And it's a large drone, hence its lengthy loitering time over a target area. And then obviously it can carry a variety of munitions ranging from glide bombs that could be GPS or laser guided, or missiles that could be guided as well. That could be even fire and forget types of systems. But there's been mixed reviews in terms of the Wingloon. You see, you have to understand it. You can possess a drone, but does it work well? Does it keep a good data link? So what does that mean? So usually, if you're operating a drone, the drone is kind of operating over the target area, and then 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 2,000 miles away is the operating base, so to speak. So you usually have a pilot who flies the drone, and then you have a payload specialist, someone who operates the targeting pod and guides the munitions into the target. And those systems require a data link. Now, yeah, there is a certain amount of artificial intelligence in terms of it can just kind of fly on its own and not suddenly crash if it loses its data link, because you can lose a data link and then reestablish a data link and then you're good to go again. But when you lose that data link or you have intermittent data links, it's very difficult for that payload specialist to look at targets on the ground. So it would kind of be like if you're streaming a movie or a television program on your phone or TV or computer, and you have a really poor internet connection, right? You're going to have buffering. You're going to have other issues coming into play. So the ability to see targets and identify targets is going to be more difficult. And we've heard reports that with these Chinese drones, there are a number of issues, to include data link issues, the quality of the optics being used, the stability of those optical bubbles or pods that they're using, the gyro mechanism that creates the stability, so to speak, while you're observing targets on the ground. Man, that could be an issue as well. But they've been effective. They've been used across the globe. They've been used obviously in Libya. They've been used in Yemen. Do they always work? No. Do they work well enough that it has attracted customers who could not obtain maybe Israeli or United States systems? Well, yeah, obviously. The other drone systems that I think could be coming into play, and these could be sold directly to Eritrea or Ethiopia proper. I mean, obviously, they could use different versions of Israeli Hermes drones, and these would mainly be used as an observation platform, because again, they would have to sell the ability to launch precision guided systems on these drones. And obviously, it appears the Chinese have done so. But do the Israelis always do that? No. They'll sell you the platform, but they may not sell you the ability to conduct a precision strike, which would also include the purchase of the munitions. Just because you have a drone doesn't mean you can strike targets. Another system that the Ethiopians and the Eritreans could be using is an an Israeli drone. It's a kamikaze drone. Now, this drone takes off and basically is designed not to return. There could be a pilot in the loop, and the pilot guides the target, or I'm sorry, the drone to the target, and the drone then launches basically a kamikaze attack where it does have a small amount of explosive inside of the drone, and that drone then basically destroys itself by impacting with the target. The downside with these drones, such as the Harap and the Orbiter, we'll talk about the Orbiter. And that was originally a surveillance drone, a battlefield surveillance drone designed to be launched by individual soldiers near the line of contact, several kilometers away from the front line, so to speak, to observe what was going on in the battlefield. Sometimes these don't have thermal imaging sights or optics, and their optics are not stabilized a lot of times, which makes it a little bit more difficult for the drone operator to look at targets on the ground. But they do have an ability to kind of lock on to a target and then steer itself into that target. We saw those orbiters with a certain amount of explosives being used in Azerbaijan against Armenia. And then there is the Harap. And that's another Israeli drone, quite a bit more expensive. That drone was really designed to attack surface-to-air missile systems and radars. It could detect active radar signatures, and then basically guide itself to those signatures, and then commit a suicide, a kamikaze attack against those targets. But the Harap was also being used with a man-in-the-loop type of system as well, where it would observe trucks on the move and tanks, armored vehicles, and attack the rear deck area or the top of the turret, and try to damage or destroy said target. So those could be used by the Ethiopians. I don't think they have the Harap. I think it's more likely the Ethiopians are probably using versions of the Orbiter in a manner that could be used as a suicide drone. And they could obviously also have the surveillance drones as well. But I think the actual attack drones are coming from the United Arab Emirates and Chinese sourced types of drones. The Turkish drones, the Bayraktar drone. Now, that's a really unique drone. That drone has proved itself to be a very capable system. Now, the drawbacks with the Turkish drone, the Bayraktar, is its distance, is its range. It is a line of sight system that has to have a data link with a non-satellite radio link or data link, and its distance is roughly about 80 miles, 100 miles from the operation station. But at the same time, it tends to be not that difficult for a army or a group to get within 20-30 miles of the front line and then launch said system that could then penetrate 40 plus miles behind enemy lines. Now the great abilities of the Bayraktar is its optronic systems, its optic systems. They're Canadian-made systems, very good stability platform in the air. They can see their targets very well. They have incredibly capable thermal imaging sights, optics, and in conjunction with the Turkish-made MAML precision-guided munition, it is an incredibly good platform. And again, what makes these Turkish systems so good is it's the optics and the stability of these platforms while flying over a target. And we don't believe that these systems are operating in Ethiopia as yet. Now that could change, but I think the ramifications for the Turks would be pretty great to have those systems operating over Tigray. But again, they are incredibly good systems with very good technology, and if the Turks acquire the ability to have a satellite-based system, which gives it much longer range and endurance, kind of slave to those very good optics in the MAML, the MAML missile, that would be a significant challenge for any world military to try and overcome, outside the scope of highly advanced military such as the United States, China, and Russia, and so forth, and some European powers. But right now, just specifically over Eritrea, Tigray, I think we're seeing the Wing Loon with some guided systems, whatever those are, not sure at this moment. And then obviously, possibly Israeli orbiters could be being operated by the Ethiopians as well.